Don't go on the table, just fall. We'll catch you, don't worry. Thank you very much.
Criminal acts against civilians, well, that's easy to do. We condemn all acts against civilians. But the problem with many of the people asking you that question is they believe history started on October the 7th. It did not.
That's true, that.
If Joe Biden, Keir Starmer and the rest of them want to talk about history, 1948, the Nakba. Homes being demolished, generation after generation by tractors. 2014, when 2,000 Palestinians, 550 of them children, were murdered. So when we talk about hostages, remember that Gaza is an entire strip of land held hostage.
3 million people hostage.
And now they are attacking the West Bank. 90 dead at least on the West Bank. We stand for solidarity. We stand to tell the people of Palestine, for all your troubles, for all the ordnance that rains down on your heads, for all the lies that have been thrown at you, you are not alone. In our thousands, in our millions. Palestine! Free, free! 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 Palestine! Give me a chance now. So the final thing I'm going to say to you, because Labour has 61 councillors, us and the Greens, who have held a principal position as well, will try to raise the Palestinian issue. And if Labour does try to sideline the truth about Palestine, we will be saying shame on you.
Yes, definitely.
Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Thank you very much.
Next I want to call on Chantal Lunt to speak. She is an activist with Black Lives Matter. You will remember her from all the demonstrations around the death of George Floyd and other matters. Chantal, please.
This week will be remembered as one of the darkest in human history, A week in which we've seen children killed in their thousands and hospitals blown to the ground. People being told to flee, but being denied safe passage, denied their human right for food and water. Undeniable war crimes. And yet, warmongers, our so-called political leaders, break their necks looking the other way. To the people of Palestine and our Muslim brothers and sisters, I want to say this. We see you. We stand with you. We mourn with you. We love you. And to the people who say that they speak to us, I say this: not in our name. The latest polls have shown that 76% of the public and 89% of Labour voters support a ceasefire. Who are they speaking for? Because they are not speaking for us, and I will say it again: not in our name! So-called leftist, to every so-called anti-racist, to every so-called decolonial activist who has not said a word this week, who has not attended a rally, and who has looked the other way, shame on you! Of course it is never easy. Justice never was easy. Of course they're going to come for us. Of course they're going to smear us. Of course they're going to call us in, censor us, and attempt to silence us. But that only means that we are standing on the right side of history. And to quote Shirin Ebadi, if you cannot lift the injustice, then at least tell everyone about it. Free Palestine! 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 Free Palestine!
We all have experience of being lied about and about false accounts being given to the press. And one of the particular things we have to remember in Liverpool is the lies that were told about the football fans at Hillsborough. And you will all know the struggle over many, many years to clear the name of those who died and those who supported them. And one of the major players in that campaign that lasted all that time was the Hillsborough Justice campaign. And one of the players in that, I would say one of the major players, but she would probably be too modest to say so, is Sheila Coleman. She's going to speak next. Give her a hand.
Thank you. It's brilliant to see so many people out and be prepared to stand and be counted. Because the other side of that is our elected leaders are not doing anything. They are sitting in silence, watching their backs, watching their careers. I'm prepared to stand corrected today, but can I ask if there are any Merseyside MPs in the crowd? If so, they can take my place speaking. I'd love to see them and listen to them. No. But I would like to give a shout out to one Labour councillor, Lucille Harvey, who is the only person I've seen on Twitter making a statement in support of Palestinians and what is going on. And she stands out because she's the only Labour person that I've seen doing that from Liverpool City Council. Shame on our elected leaders that they are more concerned about their careers and about being labelled anti-Semitic, which is obviously what happens. Well, I stand here as someone who's been labelled racist and anti-Semitic and expelled from the Labour Party, and you know what? That has become my badge of honour. If supporting a struggle like Palestine, you are falsely labelled that way, then I know that I am on the right side, and those people have their own agendas. This is a humanitarian issue. It is genocide. We can stand here and we can say that we are watching a mass slaughter of a population. I stood here a few months ago with other people and we spoke about boycotts and divestments and sanctions. All really important things, but look how things have progressed to the point now where it really is a life or death situation. Last month in Unite the Union, whom I work for, we had a delegation over from Shufat refugee camp, and we were honoured to host them, for them to speak to us about the situation in Jerusalem. We got word the other day that that refugee camp has had to close. Those people are now desperate for the basics that keep us all alive. What kind of government do we live under? What kind of so-called Labour opposition do we live under when they are supporting the right to refuse water, something so fundamental as water, and to starve out, to entrap Palestinians and blow them to bits? And the bottom line here is our trade unions need to be doing more. They shouldn't be looking to the Labour Party for direction. They should be putting pressure on the Labour Party and the government to support the Palestinians, not giving out watered down statements. Oh, we have Jewish and we have Muslim members as well. Well, Palestine also has a lot of Christians as well. But the unions, in their naivety and ignorance, see it just pure straight down the middle. It is so naive, and for the fact that they are taking their cue from the Labour Party is shameful. As a union worker and as a union member, I am not taking my excuse me, is there a doctor?
We need a doctor.
Someone's ill over
Someone
there.
have a doctor.
Someone can go over there. There's a doctor needed. So all I'd like to say is support to you all. You will be on the right side of history, because I would hate it when my kids and grandkids grow up for them to ask where I was and to have to say I remain silent. All of you here today are on the right side of history, but let's keep pressure on local representatives. It's good that Alan Gibbons spoke out, but he has to do so as an independent because of Labour Party politics. And as the previous speaker said, shame on Keir Starmer. I will never ever vote Labour. I doubt if I'll ever vote for it again in the foreseeable future. So shame on them for what they are doing in our name, and they're doing it in our name. We have to speak out and we have to shout out loud in support our Palestinian brothers and sisters. We cannot let this continue. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
produces so many doctors. There are a number of people who have made their way there. That situation seems to be under control. I'm going to ask you again now to listen to Amina Latik. She is a local poet. She speaks a lot of truth. She is also very committed on the issue of Palestine. And I know that she's particularly affected by... I'm going to ask you to listen to Amina now, please.
Liverpool, can I hear you? Liverpool, can I hear you? I went to Palestine in 2018. I called this a conflict, a peace process. But when I saw that the water that was on the Palestinian land were then piped into the Israeli land, were then sold to the Palestinian people, I said that is an occupation. When I saw the first refugee camp that the UN set up in 1954, I said, who lives there? They said Palestinians. I said, Palestinians have become refugees in their own land, then that is an occupation. When you see a wall bigger than you 7 times, then that is an occupation. So using the right language is really important. This is not a conflict, and it has never been a conflict. And I know you've seen many videos, but in 2018 I saw an IDF soldier close the Aqsa University, and students came out to fight. Can I have your attention, please? Has anyone got diabetes, and if they've got an insulin?
No. Ring an ambulance.
Has anyone got a glucometer? Anyone diabetic?
Wait, my one's diabetic. And that is an occupation. Occupation is not a 24-hour overnight. This is strategic. This is Western powers in support. This is our tax money. And when I saw Emily Thornberry on Channel 4, a woman that stood by us year by year in every Yemeni visual, and she cried for the Yemeni children, and when she was asked about the Palestinian children, she did not even flinch.
Shame on her.
She did not even flinch. She never cared about the Yemeni children, and she no longer cares about the Palestinian children. These people do not care. So I urge you, the people that you have voted for and elected, they have a right to serve you. So you go and you re-elect the right people, the people around you here.
The brave ones, yes.
The brave ones that are standing with us day by day, who are non-Muslims.
Yes.
And I want to say to my non-Muslim friends, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for standing by us year by year. When it was with Syria, when it was with Yemen, when it was with Libya, and when it was with Palestine, year by year you have stood by us.
Take the smoke away. Get rid of the smoke.
So I read.
Get rid of the smoke.
It's already away.
So I want to dedicate a poem not of my own, but Mahmoud Darwish. And he says, I come from there, and I have memories. I come from there, and I have memories born as mortals are. I have a mother. I have a mother. I have brothers and friends, and a prison cell with cold window. Mine is the wave. Mine is the wave, snatched by the seagulls. I have my own view. An extra blade of grass. Mine is the moon of the edge. and I render the sky into her mother. I come from there. And when the sky weeps for her mother, I weep to make myself known to a returning cloud. And I learned all the words. And I learned all the words from the worthy of the cloud of blood so that I could break all the rules. I learned all the words so I broke them all. To make a single word called homeland. Ya Wadani! Ya Wadani! Ya Wadani! Ya Wadani! Ya Wadani! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free!
Palestine! Palestine! Free, free! 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 Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
There's always one, isn't there? Next, I'm going to ask you to listen to a student from Gaza, Salman. He's been on the march today. You bet he knows quite a bit. Listen to him here.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is very, very, very pleasing to see all of you here. You don't know how much it means to me to see all of you right here today. Could we please have some silence, just for a second? Please, thank you. I'm very happy to see all of you here today, and I'm very proud of you for standing up for the Palestinians. My name is Salman al-Wadi, and I come from a town called Beit Daras in Gaza. My grandmother's side comes from Khan Yunis. Two of these cities have been constantly bombed. The past 2 weeks in Gaza, we have had alone 3,520 dead. These are innocent human souls. How dare you come out and call the Palestinians anti-Semitic when we are the Semites? And Prophet Musa, and Prophet Sulaiman, and Prophet Dawood, and Jesus himself. How dare you call us anti-Semitic and use it as an excuse to murder more than 1 million Palestinians across 80 years and call it what? What do you call it? Genocide? A Holocaust?
An ethnic cleansing.
An apartheid? What do you call it? Whatever you want to call it. Palestine will be free one day, and you will all look back at this moment. And I will tell you that it's going to be God's responsibility, because we as a people are silent. We're just reposting and screaming. Thank you all for coming here today and raising your voices. But it is the Lord's vengeance and the Lord's alone. Allahu Akbar. Wa la ilaha illallah. Allahu Akbar. Wa la ilaha illallah.
Palestine! Free! Palestine!
Free!
Palestine!
Free!
Palestine! 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 Palestine!
There are few testimonies more powerful than that which come out of Gaza, and you hear what someone says. I'm going to ask you next to listen to Jo Bird. She knows a lot about being lied about too. She's a Green councillor on the Wirral now. They expelled her from the Labour Party as well. Guess why? And she's also going to be trying to be Birkenhead MP, if anyone from Birkenhead is here.
Yes.
Well, again, there's always one, isn't there? But you listen to Jo. She speaks with a powerful testimony as well of what it's like. Jo.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's hear it for the organisers of today's protest. Liverpool Protest, Palestine! Today we are cross community. Today we are all faiths and none. Today we stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Israel and in Palestine. Our compassion is not selective. Our first thoughts are with the innocent victims. Young people taken too soon, like Abdul Rahman, Yusuf Abdul Musa, 7 and 5 years old, killed yesterday. Abdul Simantov and Yiftach Quds, 14 and 6, killed 2 weeks ago. We know in our bones that it's wrong to kill civilians and to kill children. It's a war crime, whether it's through bullets, bombs, deliberate drought or hunger. It's a war crime, whether it's by Hamas or by Israel. Hostages and prisoners denied fair trial should be released immediately, and parties should negotiate for lasting peace. I'm a Green councillor on the Wirral. Wirral is half the size of Gaza. Gaza is twice the size of Wirral, with 7 times of the population. Bombing Gaza is a war crime. I'm also Jewish. My Jewish great-grandparents fled deadly fascism in Europe for safety in England, and some of my family perished in the Holocaust. And as Marek Edelman said, he was the leader of the Warsaw Ghetto uprising. He said to be Jewish means always being with the oppressed, never with the oppressors. Yay. Like many of us here today, we have friends and family in Israel and Gaza. I have friends, brave 17-year-olds who refuse to serve in the Israeli army, like Nori Magan, Tel Matnik and Ella Greenberg. They won't serve in the army of occupation or siege. They, like us, we say, ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
Thank you. Most Jewish people like me, we do not live in Israel. We also say as Jews, not in our name. Not in our name does Israel kill innocent civilians. And here in Britain too, we can end our own complicity. We should stop our government, our pension funds and our factories supplying arms to only one side, or even any side. There should be no Israeli pilots or Saudi pilots flying warplanes in our sky over the River Mersey.
That's right, thank you.
And what do we mean when we say Palestine shall be free?
Palestine.
We mean free from apartheid, free from siege, free from occupation. You know, in Northern Ireland, it's only 170 miles away from here. There was another seemingly intractable conflict for many years, for decades. Thousands of people were killed. There was also a ceasefire, and then there were negotiations. The Good Friday Agreement saved thousands of lives, and it's the route to peace. So friends, cousins, we have so much in common. We even share our greetings. Salam Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, peace be upon you. A ceasefire now.
Ceasefire now!
Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now!
And everyone beneath the vine and fig tree shall live in peace and unafraid. And everyone neath the vine and fig tree shall live in peace and unafraid. And into plowshares beat their swords, nations shall make war no more. And into plowshares beat their swords, nations shall make war no more. Solidarity!
Occupation no more! Occupation no more! Palestine! Palestine!
Thank you, sir. It's good to hear from the Wirral as much as from Liverpool. It's also very humbling for people to say thank you as a Liverpool Friends of Palestine, and thank you for the appreciation. As mark of that appreciation as a housekeeper, some of you got our flags. If you could put them down here at the end, I won't tell anyone it was you, okay? But thank you very much in advance. We got the word 12, right? Next, however, I'm going to ask Greg Dropkin, who is from Liverpool Friends of Palestine. He's the main writer of the leaflet we've been giving out today, but has plenty more to say. Greg, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please bear with me. I've lost my voice. So. The first thing it has to do with us is that every one of us here in Liverpool is affected by this slaughter. We have as much right to have an opinion and to take action on this as anyone else, be it Rishi Sunak, James Cleverly, Keir Starmer, or David Lammy. We count in this. That's the first thing. The second thing is we know that the government has sided with Israel. We know that they are going to do nothing to stop the slaughter. That is why it comes down to us. Now, there was an appeal this week from the Palestinian trade unions, starting with the Palestinian General Federation of Trade Unions in Gaza. If anybody has a right to appeal to the trade union movement internationally, it's them. And what they're asking people to do is to shut down the arms trade with Israel. Shut it down! Now I want to tell you how Merseyside figures in that story. Local government workers in this city have pensions, and those pensions are invested in arms companies that supply the Israeli military. Pensioners have the right to say they don't want their money invested in the arms trade with Israel. That's what they need to do. The second piece of the arms trade is what's going on at the University of Liverpool. There are a slew of different companies that fund research at the University of Liverpool who supply the Israeli military. They include BAE Systems, Honeywell, Augusta Westland, and a slew of others. So that's a very obvious target for anybody at the university. 2 years ago, there was an arms fair in this city, which was hosted by Liverpool City Council. There were 4 Israeli arms firms there and 13 other companies that supply the Israeli military. We have a right to demand that the City Council never, ever dare do anything like that again. Never! Finally, there is trade through the Port of Liverpool. We don't know whether arms are going back and forth through our port, but if we find out, we are sure as hell going to try to do something about it, and I hope you'll help us. Now listen, the idea that we can force the government or force the Labour Party to take the Palestinian side is pie in the sky. We are going to have to take this situation out of their hands. I'm sorry I can't say any more.
You feel his pain in speaking.
Sorry.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a message to read out. Helen Dixon from Friends of Palestine will read it out for us.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Yes. Could I ask, could you sort of slow down your conversations for a moment, because it's quite hard to hear people when other people are talking. Okay, this message is from a good friend of ours, Haneen, who's a Palestinian Scouser. She's very sad she can't be here today, but she sent us this statement. I am the granddaughter of the survivors of the 1948 Nakba. I am the daughter of the survivors of 1967.
I didn't get a sponsored birthright trip. Instead, I got a life of exile and general trauma. But what I did get was resilience and underlying strength. And still, we Palestinians rise. It is 2023 and we are facing a genocide. It is 2023 and we are facing the ethnic cleansing of an entire city of innocent civilians, majority of them are children. As well as trying to erase the whole city of people, the cowardly government is trying to criminalize our Palestinian identity. The Palestinian flag under current legislation is not a terrorist flag. Wave it high, wave it proud, keep the momentum up. It is your democratic right to protest. It is not illegal. Do not let the scaremongering of the government stop you from fighting for the rights of our brothers and sisters in Palestine. We are not sheep. Resistance is not terrorism. Do not be fooled by the propaganda. A protest is not just standing in the street for 1 or 2 hours long. It is non-stop until you reach your aim. Shut your city down. Stop the genocide. Stop the war. We need a call for action. We need an immediate ceasefire. The UK and the USA is crying out for money to fund their own healthcare system, but can spend billions massacring one on the other side of the world. Where is the logic in that? Our protests are heard, our demands are valid. End the genocide of innocent Palestinians. Free Palestine! Free Gaza! Free Gaza! What do we want? Ceasefire now! When do we want it? Now! What do we want?
Ceasefire now!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Ceasefire now!
When do we want it?
Now!
Thank you.
That's a powerful message, and we're grateful to Haneen for receiving it. You will recall, maybe those who were with us a week ago, how in front of the BBC she took the mic and, well, that was it for 20 minutes, wasn't it? You know how powerful she is, so that's nice to have the message. Can I also relay the greetings, though there's no specific message, from the Rail, Maritime and Transport Union, the RMT. You've seen 1 or 2 flags on the demo today. Darren Ireland, who is the local leader of the union, has got to go to Weymouth today or somewhere else on yet another dispute. Why am I not surprised about there being yet another dispute for him to deal with? But he would have been here otherwise, because he's a very committed supporter, as is the union. And we're grateful for that, and we will repay that support when it's called upon. Next, I'm going to invite Helen Marks to speak. She's from Liverpool Friends of Palestine. Helen.
Thank you. Thank you. Like Joe, I'm also from a Jewish family. And I want to say to you that when I was brought up, and I knew that my father lost most of his family in the Holocaust, what did I learn? And what do people learn from the Holocaust? They should learn tolerance. They should learn not to objectify the other. And that is what's happening in Palestine. The Palestinians are being... The Palestinians for years have been objectified, have been treated as lesser, as almost subhuman. That is not what we should have learned from the Holocaust, that we have to be tolerant and treat people as humans. And that's why I am a supporter of the Palestinian cause. The other thing I want to say is I know that my mother, who was brought up in Palestine as a Jewish family,
she was told a lot of lies. One of them was that Palestine was a land without people for a people without a land. So untrue, and you know it's untrue. Our leaders knew it was untrue. Our politicians knew it was untrue. There's pictures of over 1 million people in Palestine at that time. So how could they perpetrate such a lie? But they did, and our leaders pretended it was true. It's so disgraceful. The other lie, that, well, my mother told me, well, the Palestinians just ran away. They were sort of cowardly. No, that's not what happened. They faced violence. More than 500 villages were ethnically cleansed. That's not about violence, that's about sheer fear. And not only that, the Israelis said if they didn't come back within 24 hours, they'd lose their homes, and that's what happened. So that's another lie. And we're told lies all the time from Israel about breaking of ceasefires in Gaza. They always want to say it's Hamas who broke the ceasefire. And so often that is just untrue. And we know about the recent untruths about who bombed hospitals, don't we?
Yeah.
But do we hear our politicians saying anything about that?
No!
No, we don't. No, we don't. So, we just have to fight on, and it is wonderful seeing so many people here, and thank you.
Palestine! 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 Palestine!
Thank you, Helen. That's giving you another bit of history, another part of the jigsaw, because it's important to know the history. One of the reasons why, when the British political scene has dealt with Palestine, people are so ignorant is because they don't study it, they don't remember things. And every time we have situations like this, when there's yet another attack on Gaza, it's like as if the whole what we've built has just been wiped clear by the sea and nobody remembers a thing. I was looking back last night at photographs I took in 2014, which was, I think, the invasion before last, and seeing what people I realise that so many people have forgotten all of that. But when you live there, you don't forget. And one of the nice features when there's a comedian, Mark Thomas, who went to Palestine, a very clear political mind he has. And he's stuck in this checkpoint, in the turnstiles, you know, the ones where you've got to queue up like this for at least an hour, and then you go through a turnstile. He gets stuck in there. And this guy says, "Are you English?" "Well, yes." "Mr. Balfour!" Because people remember in the ordinary situation, they know the history. I'm going to ask Yassine to speak. He's a Yemeni activist in Liverpool. He's a regular to our events, and he's got plenty to say. Yassine.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity, but I've got no much to say because I've lost my voice yesterday in the demonstration in London. I would like to say one thing. I am very appreciated for all of you because you came and stand with the innocent people, and I'm going to say you are very brave. You're not scared from the Zionists. You're not scared from the Zionists because we stand for the victims everywhere, as we stand for the victim of Ukraine. You remember the children of Ukraine, and we stand for them, and we stand for every victim everywhere. And we want the people to treat the Palestinian people and the children like the children of Ukraine and the people of Ukraine. And I would like to say to the English people to understand one thing. when the government flame the war, the refuge become more from everywhere. And I would like to say to the English people as well, when the government spending the public money, arming Israel, it's their money. They should raise their voice. They should say to the government, stop arming Israel. Stop arming Israel. Stop arming Israel. Stop arming Israel. Stop killing the children. Because the more you arm in Israel, the more the children of Palestine killed. The more the people going out, fleet out, going here, everywhere. And that's no good for the people, no good for everyone. So I'd like to say for you, thank you very much for coming and keep coming as long as the bombing to Palestine, as long as Israel bombing the people and killing the people, we keep coming here every time. I would like to say, can you keep it every Sunday? Because we will come as long as the war is still going on. When the war is stopped, we'll stop, but keep coming and thank you very much everyone. Thank you very much. You are very brave. I want to say one thing. You are very brave. We're not scared to say the words. Keep coming, please. Keep coming. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine!
We have a new leader, I think. Amina would like to just add to what you said earlier. Amina.
Yeah, I just want to say, who is in university? Put your hand up. Okay, if in university, any of your management, if you've been pulled up by HR, the European Legal Advice Centre is offering free support. Okay? So do look after yourself, because I know that could be scary and intimidating, but there is legal advice that's being offered for free. And a lot of my friends who are doing their PhDs have been called out, and they have been given the choice whether to carry on speaking about Palestine or to keep their PhD. So if this is affecting you, there is free legal advice, and that is the European Legal Advice Centre. Email them, tweet them, and they will give you that support.